First of all, Ian, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Tell me a little bit about your business and what you do.
Okay, well, we're a charity called Shared Parenting Scotland. So we handle inquiries and try and support parents who have separated and are making the arrangements for their children. And obviously, sometimes when people separate, things are very difficult, and yet they've got to arrange for the children to move between the two parents. And sometimes it ends up in court, sometimes it's a less sort of high conflict battle, but we just provide information and support to people who are in that situation because we want children to remain involved with both of their parents after separation.
Of course, that's really great. And before you started working with UDrafter, your project was around this online training course, which we'll come on to in just a second. But what was your workflow like? What were the particular problems you were trying to solve before you came on UDrafter to get an intern?
Well, we were experiencing far more inquiries because of COVID-related issues. And also we were running face-to-face training programs throughout Scotland, but that became completely impossible once the COVID restrictions started. So we needed to find other ways of delivering this training. And the training that we're doing is very relevant because we were doing training about communication skills, about stress management, about parenting in difficult times. So all these, and also the training about money issues, because a lot of people are facing real financial strain because of COVID. So all these topics are things that we want to get across to the people who get in touch with us. And moving the training online was the most easiest way for us to reach people in that way.
Of course. And why did you feel you needed an intern to come and help out?
We needed an intern because we didn't have the skills necessary to develop and design and sort of engineer the online training. And we also wanted more capacity because our existing staff were pretty busy, but getting that knowledge from somebody who had just finished doing training or a degree or whatever in that field was very important. It's an added, whole set of skills that we wanted to tap into.
Great. And have you ever hired an intern before you approached UDrafter?
We have had interns. Some of the universities have schemes for providing interns. Edinburgh's got an adopt an intern scheme, and also Santander had supported some training. So we have had interns in the past. And we've always used interns for specific projects because when you're a busy organization handling inquiries all the time, it's very difficult for your staff to actually focus on making one project work and to do a sort of concentrated piece of work. And that's where having an intern, apart from any skills they bring in, just having an intern who can concentrate on one piece of work and get it done within a fairly tight deadline.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was the return on your investment into bringing an intern on? What different results were you able to achieve with the training course in your business?
Well, the most tangible results are that we've now got 4 separate training courses online. People are using them. So people are taking part in the training and getting the learning. We also, it allowed us to do a few other graphic design projects online. We did a review of all our work in 2020. We had a sort of a little bit of film that was or animation that was developed, just showing the different things we've been doing. The person who was doing the work for us, our intern, also produced a really good looking annual report for us. So there were lots of different benefits from bringing in somebody with these skills.
Great. And if you were to have done it yourself, do you reckon it would have taken you much more time?
It would have taken us a lot of time, and we were very busy. So, I needed somebody who could just focus on that project and get on with it.
Sure.
And if we hadn't had the intern, we would have been really stuck, I think.
Great. And what do you think, why UDrafter as a software that's online compared to some of the other examples you've maybe sourced interns through before?
Well, we like the idea of just tapping into newly qualified or people who are in the middle of courses, because we wanted to get the sort of skills. There's an ageist thing here that our staff are all somewhat older, and we do want to tap into a younger generation who've got all sorts of different experiences in using online processes, and it wasn't a sort of full-time permanent job we had on offer, but if we have continued that link with the person, so it has developed into a sort of a long-term sort of bit of work, where we're probably using her 1 day a week at the moment, which is good.
That's amazing. Really good to hear. And how did you first hear about UDrafter, or what sort of piqued your interest?
I honestly can't remember. I think I must have had either received emails from you or maybe was just searching, but for some reason it just popped out of the ether, and it just seemed to be a very suitable scheme for us at the time, and it met a need very quickly. We had a good response from the project that we put up.
Fantastic. And describe your sort of experience working with us. What area did you think you got the most value out of UDrafter?
Well, obviously identifying a number of suitable people, and also making it quite easy for us to choose between them, because we weren't faced with hundreds. We had sort of half a dozen people, I think, that we looked at. It provided a communication channel so that we could find out a bit more about each person, and then it gave us the framework of an agreement with them, which is always useful to have a more sort of a process for a formal agreement with people without having to develop it all yourself. And then the payment sort of, the way that payments worked seemed to be quite reasonable. Again, it just saves time. A small charity, time spent on any administrative task is time that you're not spending doing your more supportive and creative things. And so anyone who can take on some of the administrative load is really useful.
Absolutely. And how likely would you be to recommend UDrafter, and why should someone potentially listening to this short video take action right now?
We were very satisfied with the person who came through for the project, and we would certainly recommend it to anyone else who's looking for an intern with particular skills. So, because the process to engage with UDrafter was sort of, it certainly worked for us. So I would certainly recommend anyone else in that position to try it out.